Here in Fort Wayne, as well as in Indianapolis and elsewhere around the state, have addressed a number of abuses in local government systems. This questioner says, when simplifying government, will corruption be a simpler task? I'll let you think about that for a second, and as you're thinking about that one, I'd like to just tell you about an anecdote. In some of the digging that we were doing in township government here, I was contacted actually by a township board member who actually had to invoke the Freedom of Information Act in order to get the records from the employees of her township. Will corruption will be simpler if we have a simpler form of government?
Does the question mean will preventing corruption be simpler? Well, it will, if that will, in my judgment, because the less confusion, the fewer units, the less of government that's happening really out of public view. I think, first of all, the less people are likely to try to color outside the lines in the first place. The most alert and active newspaper in the state cannot and does not cover every aspect, for instance, of township government. There's just too much of it, too many places. Many of those activities are happening without public meetings and the like, as was mentioned earlier. So I do think that, as the governor just said, that the first objective of all of this is more accountability to the public in the system. And by having clear responsibility for these services, preferably single point accountability, as we used to say in business, and to have that at a level where there's clear, open scrutiny, where everything operates under the open door laws and all the rest of that, I think you'll have a preventive or prophylactic effect on wrongdoing, frankly. And I hope, ideally, there won't be that much of it to catch. But if there is, it'll be more easily seen and remedied.
Okay. We have a question about the idea of a single county executive. How can one county executive represent us all, rural and urban?
How can one governor represent us all, rural, urban, and suburban, across the state? There are really, if you look at units of government, levels of government, it is at county government in Indiana that we have one of the few examples of a multi-headed executive branch. And if you look at business, if you look at any other organization, there aren't many of them that run with more than one executive, one person who's in charge, one person who is very clearly responsible for the decisions that are made and the implementation of public policy or business policy, as the case may be. So again, we believe that it is clearer as to who is responsible, and with that clearness is greater accountability. In addition, and this is an important point that Marilyn made, it's not just having one county executive who will come either from one of the incorporated areas or from one of the unincorporated areas within the community. But you're also going to have stronger representation and more responsibility with the county councils. And therefore, people are going to pay more attention when they are electing those positions. There will be fewer decisions to make about people that you've never met and never heard of, for offices that in many cases you have not given much thought to. And in so doing, again, we believe that there is much greater accountability.